Is it possible to have your personal space in Confluence as a private space? Well, there was a question on the community recently about creating a personal space, but having it also private so that only the person who owns the personal space can view the content. Well, actually, it is possible. You can actually create your own personal space and also change the permissions. So let us see how we can do that. So if you go to the Confluence of maybe you have access to a Confluence instance, or it could be on a cloud instance. You can probably do an evaluation just to see how it works. So when you click on the create space button, you can then create a space. And since you're talking about personal space, so we'll click on the personal space here and click on the next button. The name could be, Ravi Sagar, your name, or maybe you can name it anything you want. And then you can click on the button called create. And the moment you do it, you have, of course, the space that you can now work on. And the moment you create a new space, although it is a personal space, it is actually giving you some recommendations that you could use it for creating a to-do list, capture rough ideas, store files, post pictures. Uh, but there is also a possibility that you can change the space permissions. So there is a link here. If you click on the link, you can basically take a look at how to change the permissions. This is the documentation on the Atlassian website, but I'll show you how to do it. It is not very complicated. So you need to go to the space settings. So if you click on the space settings on the left hand side, you will be able to do some configurations of your space, and on top you have the option to simply go to the permissions, the second tab on top, and here you can simply change the permissions of your space. So let us say if you want to restrict the access to just yourself, or maybe you want to give this access to a specific user, so you can basically just uncheck these check boxes. Right now I'm using a free version of cloud, and that is why I don't have the ability to modify the permissions on a free version of Confluence. And I think this is the case with Jira as well. When you're working on Jira and you're using the free version, there are some limitations, and those limitations are mostly around the permissions. So this is something that you can do if you're using a paid version of Confluence. You could be using Confluence on cloud, or you could be using Confluence on server. All you need to do, you need to go to the space settings, and then go to the permissions, and manage the permissions from your space settings. And this is something that you can do if you really want to hide it, and it is a possibility. And this is all I wanted to share in this video. I hope you enjoyed and you learned something new today. Thank you very much.